are determined that we are going to turn around national solid waste, because I have adopted the situation that says national solid waste is no longer about waste, it is about resource, because everything on the landfill is a resource to me.
The NSWMA was established under the National Solid Waste Management Act 2001 as a statutory body to manage the collection, treatment and disposal of solid waste island-wide. Companies facing injury or threat due to unfair trade are being urged to take the matter to the Anti-Dumping and Subsidies Commission. Senior legal counsel at the Commission, Tara Evans, made the call at a JIS think tank yesterday. She stressed the point that the Commission can only take action if these entities file a complaint.
Once dumping is found and injury, they will put in place anti-dumping duties. Now, the anti-dumping duties are not meant to be punitive to the imports. What they are meant to do is to almost put the producer and the importer on the same level playing field.
The Anti-Dumping and Subsidies Commission is an agency of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. Its mandate emanates from the anti-dumping, subsidies and anti-dumping and safeguard agreements under the World Trade Organization, the WTO. The agreements and local legislation recognize and provide protection for fledgling industries so that they can develop and become competitive. And finally in the news, the president of the University College of the Caribbean, Winston Adams, is encouraging Jamaicans to improve their English language skills. He says inability to master the language has caused many persons to be overlooked for promotions at their workplaces.
We have a chronic problem in this country in terms of our written language. And that has been the experience in many workplaces. So therefore, encourage us all to polish our language skills in all forms.
Mr. Adams made the call while speaking at the book launch of The Power of Words, written by author-poet Erica Heslop and printed by the Jamaica Information Service. The ceremony was held on November 1 at Eden Garden in Kingston and was attended by relatives of Heslop as well as former students of Camperdown High School and the University of Technology. Before the signing session, Ms. Heslop told the gathering to focus on their goals and to work hard to achieve them.
If you want to be an author, an accountant, a doctor, a lawyer, a pastor, a businessman, a president of a company or a country, speak it into being and work hard to achieve it. Don't be discouraged by negative and bad-minded people. Focus on the prize and move towards it.
Erica Heslop, who is an accountant by profession, has authored 2 poetry books. The first one, titled A Poetic Revelation, was launched in February of 2008. Several of her poems, including I Am in Love with Poetry, Live Life to the Fullest, Look Out World, Life in the Fast Lane, Bad Mind, and Strive a Salva, You Are Blessed, were read and dramatized at the function. Those were the stories making the news today. For more information, please visit our website at www.jis.gov.jm. Stay with us. Jamaica Magazine continues. Thanks for staying with us. It is now time to join host Ian Boyne and our guest on today's edition of Issues and Answers, the Executive Director of the Jamaica Productivity Center, Dr. Charles Douglas.
Dr. Douglas, welcome to Issues and Answers. Let's start by talking about the Jamaica Productivity Center itself. What are its main objectives? What are the main things that the Productivity Center is working on now?
Okay. The Jamaica Productivity Center is charged with the responsibility to improve productivity nationally And but we can only do that by improving productivity at the firm and organizational level. And to the extent that we do that, then we could impact the national level. The other thing is that as far as culture change is concerned, we have to look at that seriously, because we think that we need to inculcate a new kind of thinking among our people. Because let's face it, most of our productivity problems are attitude.
People related,
yeah. People related. Yes. So a big part of our mission, our program, is public education. I would also mention advocacy. Advocacy is important, particularly as it relates to productivity-friendly policies.
When is advocacy? What do you mean in this context?
Basically, as it relates to productivity-friendly policy, you have policies that are not necessarily conducive to productivity.
What would be some examples of productivity-friendly policies?
If you think about it, we have policies such as interest rates. If interest rates are too high, we wouldn't expect like.
That's at the macro level.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So those would affect. Would affect
so the center would actually make recommendations to government.
We would make.
Would say these things impact productivity.
Right. We would do briefs to that effect.
Excellent.
And we work very closely with different organizations.
So you work with employers. You, for example, make recommendations to the Employers Federation. Say, listen, you talk to your members now about these kinds of practices which we are aware of.
Indeed, because the center is a tripartite organization.
Okay.
It is made up by the Jamaica Employers Federation, the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Union, and the government. And all those persons sit on our board.
On the board,
right?
Okay.
So to the extent
you don't have to go outside. They are right there in your
precisely. We don't have to go outside, and they would advise us of things that we need to conduct research on. Once we do those research, we would share it and provide them with the information which they could use to inform their members and inform policy.
Yeah.
So it's an important arrangement.
Good.
Right.
The National Productivity Awareness Week begins on November 9, and you're going to be having a seminar. I've been looking at the agenda. It looks very fascinating. You'll be dealing with matters such as transformational leadership. There'll be an interesting session on why workers won't work, productivity improvement tools, as well as issues to do with energy conservation. Let's talk a little bit more about the seminar itself.
Okay.
Your thoughts on it.
Okay. First, let me say that in developing the program, our first concern was to have something in the program for almost every person who attend. We design it in such a way that if you come for one day, you leave with something that you can implement when you return to your workplace. If you come for 3 days, obviously you leave with more things to implement. But that was the philosophy behind the design. You should be able to go back to your workplace with something that you can implement. And that is applicable whether you're in the private sector or the public sector. Okay. The first day, we have something addressing young people. And we recognize that we need to get young people involved.
In productive youth for a productive future.
Precisely.
Monday, November 9.
Precisely. So we started a poster competition, and that is designed to find out how much young people know about productivity.
I want to break at this point, and then we come back and talk about that. We're speaking to Dr. Charles Douglas, who is the Executive Director of the Jamaica Productivity Center. The National Productivity Awareness Week begins on November 9, and we're talking about the week as well as issues related to productivity. This is Issues and Answers. We take a break.